Welcome back, everybody. This is Dr. Jacob Lilly, and we are going to be discussing the Whole30 program. So if you guys have been following my socials for some time now, you guys have probably seen videos or maybe some photos that I've taken in terms of the Whole30 program, maybe showing some of my dietary things that I've been eating. And we're going to discuss a lot of that today, what exactly the Whole30 program is, what its intention to do, and what it really was designed for. The Whole30 program, what exactly is it? It's kind of in the name, if you really think about it. Whole means whole foods, and 30 would represent the 30 days that you're supposed to be doing it. The general idea of this diet essentially is to replace a lot of processed foods that you're normally eating and replace that with whole foods. These whole foods can be anywhere from meats, seafoods, nuts, fruits, healthy fats, things like that, all sorts of spices, vegetables, all that. Now, when most people think of that, on the surface level, they don't actually think that it's that bad. However, one thing that I've begun to realize as I've started this program is that we are just bombarded with sugar in almost any and everything that you can imagine that we typically eat on a day-to-day basis. Some very surprising things that I found is actually that bacon, for example, most bacons that you buy at the supermarket, if you actually look in the ingredients list and on the macros, the nutrition facts, you can actually see that it has added sugar in it. And to me being a health expert, it's just beyond me in terms of why there is sugar in that. 5 out of the packages of bacons that I saw, whether it was turkey bacon or pork bacon, whatever, it had like 1 or 2 grams of added sugar. And in my head, I'm just thinking, why? Like, what is the point of adding sugar into a meat, right? It shouldn't really be there, honestly. So it also brings me to another point. When shopping for groceries, it was almost mind-blowing how a lot of these food items that had less ingredients, where it was just for example, like cashews, if you were to just buy unsalted, unroasted, just bare cashews, that was more expensive than all the cashews with all the additives and the roasted with all the different flavorings in it. It was actually mind-blowing. It was completely backwards to me. How is that more expensive than something that has all this added stuff, which I would assume costs to add it in there and mix it in there? It just made no sense to me. So it's a little hint into kind of the process of this Whole30 diet and this Whole30 program, and it's very interesting to see those things. So the Whole30 program itself is, again, to replace a lot of these processed foods, a lot of these refined sugars, added sugars, and generally unhealthy things, and promote better eating habits per se by really focusing on fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, spices, all natural meats, seafoods, and eggs, and things like that. Now, you can almost consider the Whole30 program a little bit of an elimination diet. Now, the main reason why this was developed is because there's this consistent rise in autoimmune conditions, obesity-related disorders, diabetes, heart attacks, and things like that. Just in general, we as a nation are getting sicker and sicker and sicker and spending more money per capita on healthcare. Now, this program was designed to help eliminate some of these potential food triggers, such as common allergens like peanuts and soy, such as other potential aggravators of gut health, such as dairy, such as refined sugars, and just decreasing the amount of sugar we're eating throughout the day anyways. And as it serves as an elimination diet, it's beginning to help, almost in a sense, cleanse your body of these potential triggers, and therefore giving your body time to heal itself, right? Giving the gut time to heal itself, because it can do that. Now, if you're also supplementing that with proper nutrition, such as all natural fruits, all natural vegetables, lots of fiber, or maybe an increased amount of fiber, that's all going to do great things for your gut, and it's actually going to change the gut microbiome. So you can see in the context of this, once you go a little bit deeper and you kind of look at it as like an elimination diet, you can see how potentially great this thing can be. Now, on the flip side to that, I will say that this program is very intensive. From the looks of it, there's a lot of dietary changes that a lot of people are going to be very uncomfortable with. So if you find that you're someone who has trouble committing to things like this, being very strict, very regimented with your diet, this program might not be the best thing for you. However, I do say that you should potentially give it a try. Obviously, speak with your health professional, your medical doctor, your nutritionist, your chiropractor, whoever it is that you go to in search of answers for any type of nutrition therapy, and make sure that you're okay with that stuff. You might want to get your lab work done if you have any type of chronic disease such as type 2 diabetes or type 1 diabetic, or if you're vegan or things like that. You might want to be a little careful with this program because it can get very intense. Now, the great thing with this program, I will say, just kind of from the start of it, is that it has a lot of resources. They have a full functioning website. They have a bunch of recipes. They have a bunch of books that you can buy one. You can walk yourself through it. They have options for vegetarians and vegans and all the likes. And it's actually been updated multiple times to kind of accommodate for newer research and newer things that have been added to the diet. Now, one thing I really like about this, again, just from kind of looking at it from a surface level and reading through the book, is that it does a great job with explaining why you're making these changes with your diet. Again, processed sugar. Americans across the nation, on average, consume, I think, like 2 or 3 times more sugar than any other person in any other country. In my opinion, one of the biggest reasons why we have a lot of negative health outcomes because of the amount of sugar that we eat. And it's so interesting that I'm as I'm recording this video, I'm 3 days into Whole30, and I found that I've actually had like a minor headache for about 2.5 days now, just kind of sitting right behind my forehead here, and I can think nothing other than it just being a sugar withdrawal. It's almost insane how much you don't realize how much sugar you're actually intaking until you actually take it out. So some of the things that we're going to be eliminating are sugars, so more natural and refined sugars, or added sugars for that matter. We're going to eliminate all forms of alcohol, so that includes wine, beers, spirits. Any type of alcohol we are going to avoid. One thing that was very surprising to me was that we're going to eliminate grains. Partly surprising because I can understand that you want to get rid of wheat because wheat has gliadin, and gliadin has been shown to be inflammatory in the gut and things like that. But what I was very surprised is that all forms of grains such as rice, oatmeal, and things like that are also not allowed on this 30-day program. And that kind of brings me to my next point, which is dairy. Any type of dairy product, so whether it's cheese, even yogurt, which is typically seen as like a health food with probiotics and lots of protein and things like that, is not allowed. And again, for the same reasons. Typically with dairy, in some cases, people are going to have some sensitivity to that. That's where the whole lactose intolerance kind of comes into play. Might lead to having an upset stomach. Now, another thing that was also kind of surprising was legumes. So typically like your beans, your black beans, your pinto beans, things like that are also not allowed on this program. Once I kind of was reading a bit into it, I could understand why that is. Sometimes beans can be a little upsetting for the stomach. There's a compound in beans that in certain people can cause some more symptomatology with gut health overall. So again, I can see why they're kind of taking that out. And what I've kind of seen with this pattern is if there's somewhat of a likelihood of an allergenic food, or some kind of food that, again, just kind of messes with the gut, for example, like dairy, like I was saying, they just kind of remove the whole thing. Baked goods, processed treats of any kind, which again, totally understandable. I would say one of the other surprising things, which again, surprising to me, but not surprising when I think about the general populace, is they don't want you weighing yourself. This is technically, when you think about it, it's not supposed to be a weight loss plan, which one thing I really enjoyed about reading in the book, is that it's not meant to be a weight loss plan. It's meant to be an elimination diet and help heal the gut and help get you on a better frame of mind, better habits in terms of cooking at home, cooking better quality foods, eating better quality foods, aiming for more whole food based dietary changes. Again, you want real foods, not the processed pastas and cakes and things like that. You want to eat your fruits, your vegetables, your potatoes and your meats and your seafoods and things like that. Granted, if you are vegan or vegetarian, obviously you're not going to have those food items, but that's the idea here. It's going away from these pre-processed foods that a lot of times have these added sugars, and that adds up over time, and getting away from that and getting to a more natural solution with these nutritional changes. That is the Whole30 program in a nutshell. I'm going to be coming out with some more videos, more personalized vlogging style videos where I talk about the cooking, what I'm eating, what the ingredients are, and kind of going from there. I'm going to do that on a week-by-week basis. So we're going to have a video at the end of each week, roughly. And then each week I want to maybe modify it a little bit, where like one week I actually track the macros. Maybe the third week I might, track my weight changes and things like that. And, try to keep it somewhat unique and interesting throughout these 30 days. So each video is a little bit different. You get a little bit more information out of it as well. So if you guys are following this video, following this series as well, welcome aboard. And if you guys are thinking about trying it yourself, feel free to reach out to me, email me, leave a comment, and I can point you in the right direction and maybe help you out with some things. But hopefully these videos will be enough as well. A little bit of an intro here. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the series. Thank you again for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, really helps out the channel. You get all this free information, and it's nothing, doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to the channel as well. So I would very much appreciate it if you do have that support for me like I'm having for you guys. So really appreciate it. Thank you guys again for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.